Now, the Rajya Sabha chairperson and Vice President of India, Venkaiah Naidu, today broke down in the upper house over continued unruly scenes in the parliament. Naidu's voice choked while addressing the house on the ruckus and unruly conduct by the opposition members witnessed earlier today. In fact, just yesterday, the scenes that unfolded was quite dramatic and unfortunate. Naidu said the sacredness of the house was destroyed yesterday and it gave him sleepless night. He was referring to yesterday's ugly scenes where Congress Rajya Sabha MP Pratap Singh Bajwa was seen climbing on the table inside the upper house and throwing files at the seat of the chairman. As opposition MPs continued their slogan airing, Venkaiah Naidu adjourned the house.
The parliament, the apex legislature of our country, is regarded as the temple of democracy. The table area where the officers and supporters of the reporters of the house, the Secretary General and the presiding officer are seated is considered as the holy sanctum sanctorum of the house. A certain degree of sacredness is attached to this place. In our temples, devotees are allowed only up to this sanctum sanctorum and not beyond. Entering this sanctum sanctorum of the house in itself is an act of sacrilege. It has been happening as a routine for some time. I am distressed by the way this sacredness was destroyed yesterday. While some members sat on the table, some others climbed on the table of the house, perhaps to be more visible in such acts of sacrilege. I have no words to convey my anguish and to condemn such acts. As I spent a sleepless night, last night, I struggled to find out the provocation or reason for forcing this August House to hit such a low yesterday. A discussion on agriculture problems and solutions was listed. There can be difference of opinion and there can be a specific demand from anybody.
Very unfortunate scene there. The Vice President of India, the Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Venkaiah Naidu, chokes while he speaks, condemning the ruckus that ensued just yesterday in the Rajya Sabha. He breaks down. Anand Patel reporting live from Delhi for more on that. Anand, over to you. Just moments before the session convened, we believe that the Chairman, Venkaiah Naidu, met with Home Minister Amit Shah and Prime Minister Modi as well. We understand that he's had a meeting with them and then started off the session with on quite an emotional note. It was very saddening to see him cry in the house.
Well, yes, you know, Venkaiah Naidu is a very seasoned politician. He had a long political career. He has seen many ups and downs. But the manner in which the House, functioned yesterday was very sad. It is a low day for the Rajya Sabha because the Rajya Sabha is considered to be the House of Elders, where serious discussion takes place on the national issues. But what played out yesterday, we saw opposition MPs, particularly the Congress and the Aam Aadmi MPs, creating ruckus, the opposition MPs rushing to the well of the House, climbing on the desk in the well of the House and throwing the rule book at the chair. These are all very unfortunate incidents which took place yesterday. And, you know, the manner in which it all played out, the opposition is blaming the centre that it was a calling attention motion notice which was converted into a short duration discussion on the farm issue without taking the opposition into confidence. And the first 5 members who were asked to speak on the issue were also the BJP MPs. So clearly the opposition was not taken into confidence. This was pointed out to the chair time and again, but they were not ready to listen to what the opposition was saying, and that is what prompted these unsavory, unfortunate incidents which we are seeing on our television screens. So both the government is sticking to its stand that it allowed what the opposition was asking for, a discussion on the farmers issue. The opposition is saying, look, this is not what we asked for. This was completely, attempt to divert the issue, and that's why we have every right to protest.
All right, Anand, thank you very much for joining us with those details. Now, the Parliament on Tuesday witnessed absolute pandemonium, ruckus that was created by the opposition demanding a complete rollback of the farm laws and discussion on the Pegasus scandal. Here's an insight into what ensued just yesterday.
Hooliganism, sloganeering, pandemonium. hurling the rule book at the chairperson, shouting from the top of a table. Don't look away, viewers. This is our temple of democracy. These are the politicians we have trusted our lives with. And the man on the table is Congress MP Pratap Singh Bajwa. Their demand? A discussion on Snoopgate and repeal of 3 farm laws.
ये सरकार अंधी हो चुकी है और मैं किसान भाइयों को इस बात की विश्वास दिलाना चाहता हूं, आप अपनी जंग बाहर जारी रखो। हम अपनी जंग सारी ऑपोजिशन पार्टीज और विशेष तौर इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस आपकी जंग पार्लियामेंट के फ्लोर पर लड़ेंगे।
The BJP is calling the Ruckus an insult to democracy.
जैसे ही बहस प्रारंभ हुई है, कोर्ता मांग करते हैं कि कृषि कानूनों पर चर्चा हो, और जब चर्चा होने लगी तो टेबल पर चढ़कर फाइल फेंकने लगे। ये बहुत ही दुखद है और बहुत ही अपमानजनक है, और ये केवल संसद का अपमान नहीं, इस देश की जनता का अपमान है।
It's been 21 days since the monsoon session of Parliament started. The opposition has accused the centre of blocking debates on farm laws and Pegasus hacking.
इसलिए हम लोगों ने विरोध किया कि चर्चा बार बार कराने का कोई मतलब नहीं है। चर्चा कराइए बिल की वापसी के ऊपर। ये तीनों काला कानून वापस कैसे होगा, चर्चा इस बात की होनी चाहिए।
The BJP claims they are ready to have a discussion but blames the opposition for the lack of debate.
जितना इनका बजट था उससे ज्यादा तो किसानों के खाते में मोदी जी की सरकार डाल चुकी है। ये किसान विरोधी हैं और पिछले 2 दशक में जितने भी आयोग बने सबकी रिकमेंडेशंस के आधार पर ये बिल बनाए गए हैं। कृषि सुधार
संसद सड़क पर बैठे हमारे किसानों की पीड़ा नहीं समझ रही है ना, यानी कि संसद की गरिमा का सत्ता प्रतिष्ठान को ख्याल नहीं है।
Now consider this. Each minute of running Parliament costs 2,50,000 rupees. Every wasted hour is 1,50 lakh rupees down the drain. While no one questions the opposition's right to ask questions, the methods employed by the opposition are certainly questionable. Bureau Report, India Today.
Now, after being passed in the Lok Sabha yesterday, the 127th Constitution Amendment Bill that seeks to restore the state's power to draw up their own OBC list will be tabled in the Rajya Sabha today. Ahead of the House proceedings, leaders of at least 13 opposition parties held a meeting to chalk out their strategies for today's session. The meeting was also attended by Congress MP Rahul Gandhi. Meanwhile, Home Minister Amit Shah, Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi and Commerce Minister Piyush Goyal met with Rajya Sabha Chairman Venkaiah Naidu first and then Prime Minister Modi. The upper house of the Parliament is likely to see an orderly debate on the OBC bill today, hopefully. The opposition is also likely to back the government once again. Now, with all eyes